Hey everyone, this is Dr. Lushin, and this is the Spring 2023 Loss Run Data Analysis Project for Safety 43 Occupational Safety Management. Every semester, I get a new loss run data set to have my students practice and learn more about work comp claims, the EMR, premiums, and all that stuff. It's just the best way to do it. It's multifaceted. It lasts a good 6-7 weeks. And because this semester was compressed, we had to kind of rush into it. So we are now in week 7. We had a guest speaker, Jim Jones, on Tuesday, and Thursday I'm going to be presenting this data set and the assignment and explaining a few other things. So each week I'll be producing, 1 to 3 videos, depending on when I want to sort of cut the time and how long it takes to show you how to do this technique and prepare you for writing the big report and doing the big presentation. And each week you'll need to submit your work. I'm not saying submit your Excel. What you can do is you're going to submit your update. So, and we'll probably not take many quizzes or do assignments for the next few weeks. So by Sunday, what you need to do is complete the descriptive statistics with comments, complete the data distribution with comments. I would like you to try to make those tables and figures good looking, and actually it'd be great if you could copy and paste those into the assignment. And then start working on your technical report. The first paragraph is just really the scope and objectives. The scope, context, and justification. You've already been kind of working on that, so it's good to start that now. Excuse me, I swallowed a bug. So that's where you'll be uploading your work, your update. So you'll be copying over a couple tables and a figure. And yeah, I'm probably going to do this in 2 videos. It's probably going to take that long. Got a quiz this week. So here is the module for the assignment. This is the data you're going to be analyzing. This is a supplemental document that breaks down the experience modification rating, which you've never had before. And so we get to do a deep dive. So not right away, but probably after the second week, we'll probably be looking a little bit deeper into it. Here's the assignment. I've got some videos here to help you create professional tables and charts, short videos. And then at the end, so April 23rd is the final Excel document. That's the first time you'll upload your Excel. Otherwise, you'll be uploading or providing me your tables and figures and comments. On the 25th, your PowerPoint's due. That week we'll be doing you'll be doing your presentation. We just got 12 students. We might be able to knock it out in one day. And then by the 30th, your report's due. And then that's right before the final week of the semester. So on Thursday, you're probably listening to this after Thursday, we'll be using this assistance document to kind of guide. And then I'll be going over this stuff in class and a few other things. Yeah. So every week, every Sunday, something is due. Starting with this first one, it's pretty simple. All right. So let's... last semester and previous semesters, what the students have told me is they'd like to see a bigger picture of what's really going on because they kind of got lost. And so I'm going to do that right now. And then maybe what I'll do is come on another video and complete the work after I kind of set it up. So this is where I'm working now. This was the plant scorecard that I was given. So I think it was in my second week. Yeah, at the end of my second week, we had a monthly meeting, which was supposed to review the previous month's data and some other things. And so I was reviewing December data, and I had to mine it all out. As you can see, we were on track. Not much happened that month. So here was my presentation, and this is something they already had. So I used what they already had. Obviously, if you know me, you know that... I'm going to recommend different metrics here, but for the most part, this was what I covered, and then I did a breakdown of the hours because if you're going to calculate incidence rates, you need to know where the hours are coming from because the hours are a big part of determining incidence rates. I provided these graphs. This is something that my predecessor would use, and I see really no value in using these. And that's what I was going to try to explain to them. When I came in, I started evaluating their 300 log, and there were some issues that I had to resolve. The cases weren't being managed as well as they could have. I'll just say it that way. And we were able to find all this stuff out and resolve them before we had to post the 300A. So I think these numbers did change because I didn't have to post it till February 1st. So I was going off what they had said, but I got everything in line. Everything is now clicking. So what I'm doing right now is I'm giving you my this is what I completed in the first 2 weeks of the job. Yeah. So new direction for safety. Here is the hours, and I was just showing how the hours worked affects the incidence rates, trying to convince them garbage in, garbage out, and some other things. What's interesting too is I was on LinkedIn tonight and I saw that there is a article published about the invalidity of incidence rates. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was going to share it, but nah. All right, so I'm not presenting this like an actual presentation. I apologize, but this is good enough, I think. So they have this safety incident report system, and I want to show on a quarterly basis how it's trending. And actually, this was the generation for me taking it upon myself to update and improve this system, because I'd like these numbers to be up here, keep going up. Here's a breakdown of company-wide versus Madison plan. And so this is sort of a crossover between what I just showed you, because it includes more than just the OSHA recordables, but the OSHA recordables are here too. And then we can calculate a no lost time ratio, company-wide versus my plant. I talked a little bit about the pyramid, the ratios. This, I believe, is Bird's pyramid. Interestingly enough, Jim Jones had brought up Bird. So here is the first page. I'm gonna be sharing this document with you. The one that Jim provided in class, I don't think it was the right page. This is what he should have shown us. That the company's 2022 policy year, we had an experience mod of 1.04, which we know is 4% above Unity, which is 1. But in Wisconsin, the average is 0.93, if you remember Jim saying that. So we're actually 11% above the Wisconsin average. I also did a loss run ratio, and Jim had talked about this as well. That you have to be below 40 to get below get the experience mod below 1. So what I determined based on 18, 19, and 20, and this is based on a September to August policy year, so I was following their fiscal year, the Wisconsin loss ratios were 68%, which is really high. That was in 2018. That was a bad year. 2019, they got it down to a 43. In 2020, it was a 40.7. So everything is above 1. And the other thing too is you average all these. So I got it to be that's all, folks. I got it to estimate around a 50.8%, though I probably didn't estimate it properly. But so that's a good ballpark. But next year, when the 68% drops off and we include the 2021 fiscal year, which was completed, so I know what it is, that was a 33%. So we're going to go from a 50.8 to a 39.1. So we should be below 1, because this is a ballpark estimate. There are a lot of other numbers that go into the calculation of the EMR or the experience mod, but that's the best estimation. So I think that when they renew in September of 2023, so in just, I don't know, off the top of my head, 5 months. Is that right? Or 6 months? 5 months. In 5 months, they should enjoy a lowered experience mod, therefore lower the annual premium. I shared that with them. So I completed, for the most part, about 90% completed the loss run data analysis. So this is what you're going to be doing this week. These are actually the numbers you should be getting this week. The loss run report is from was created on December 22nd of 2022, contains all the work comp claims from September 5th of 17 to December 1st of 2022, because that was the last one filed. Total of 206 claims, And then here's the breakdown. So the total claims, the total benefits paid during that time period currently, because there are still some open claims. In fact, there are 12. It's only 5.8% of the total. So this number will go up about 1.3 million over a 5-year period. You could see by the breakdown, medical payments are about 2/3. 1/3 are indemnity. The median, the average claim is 6,300. The median is 1,100. That's a big difference. We talked about normality in class, where if these numbers are really close together, you can have that. You can take a look at it and see if you have normality. In this case, we do not. There were 30 $0 claims, which means the claim was built, but it was never charged. The claim file. And I just spoke with the work comp person today, and we're going to build another one for someone who's going to go see their doctor. We don't know if it's going to become work comp or not, but we're going to start the paperwork for it, just in case. And so that's where a $0 claim comes from. So we had 30 over those 5 years. It's just additional data. I like having those, by the way. The paid average, this is basically the average minus the 30 $0 claims. So it goes up because you're reducing the denominator in the percentage. The max claim is about 116. It represents about 8.9% of the 1.3 million. And the paid claims, that's about 85%, right around there. Yeah. The percent of paid claims, 85%. So as far as open and close, we have 12 that are still remain open, and we have 8 that are reopened. So actually what is currently opened is 9.71, I think is what that comes out to. And then I just showed here that you'd like to minimize these. Remember what Jim had said? That if you keep it medical only, it counts only 30% towards the EMR. If it's indemnity, it's 100%. And I think he said, it's up to 18,000 for one of the numbers. No, 17,000. He had corrected himself. And then there's the excess. And so that's where we'll take a deeper dive into these numbers. And I'll kind of show you, because we've got people working in states, it's going to be a little bit complicated, but it's going to be fun. I love doing this stuff. It's good for you. The objectives of this study is to assess the data quality, assess the claim experience and incident cost. That should be claim cost. Claim experience and incident cost. Okay, I guess that's okay. Determine priorities for the safety program and then estimate future losses if nothing's done. That's our assignment. That's what we're going to be doing. That's each week is kind of confined here. So here's a distribution. This is the other part that you're going to do. So for this week, due by Sunday, you're going to complete these 3 tables and you're going to comment on them. And I kind of just did. You do the best you can. Here is a distribution. And it's a distribution per $500 of claim paid. And this, I didn't include the 30 $0 claims. It starts with ones that are 500 or less. There are 45 of them. The median claim is about 1,100, which is about right here. You see how it has that curve, asymptotic curve. The average is 6,300. The paid average is 7,400. And then you can see down here, there are 8 claims that represent 615,000, or about almost half, 47% of the total benefits paid. So 8 claims. So that's that's an extreme. That's an outlier, if you will. And you see what this figure looks like. Yeah, it could be improved a little bit, but this is what I need you to produce, something that's really impressive. This could be better too. And I've got abbreviations and stuff. So don't just use this, but you could definitely do better than what I put together here. Next week, what we'll do is we will break down the outliers. I found 16. I believe 16 is a good cutoff based on what you see right here. So we find a cutoff point at about 20,000. It's a natural break in the data. We'd like it to be smoother like this. This is with those 16 removed. It looks better. And then here is the updated version. So 206 minus 16 is 190. 190 totaled about 410,000. And you can see the difference. So we removed about 897,000. So I had told you before that 8 of them, so the top 8 represented almost half. The top 16, which is twice that much, represents about 68.6%. And I did present this to management, and they were impressed. So this slide doesn't have the title like it should. I don't know why. I think it's because I removed it. It doesn't have the pretty backgrounds that we're supposed to use. This was sort of my rough draft. So here's the annual trend, and I should have had the figures as well. Again, this will be due next week, not this week, but next week. And so you can see this is fiscal year, actually, 17 to 22. 22 is incomplete. Also, it has 22% of the claims are open, so you really shouldn't trend the benefits paid at that point because it's very green. In 2021, we still have about 3.6 open. We didn't use 2021 in the calculation of the EMR for that very reason. Because look at all the rest of them are closed. Here's a breakdown by site, Poinet, Madison, and other. Poinet had a lot more, more than twice as many as Madison. For the percent total paid, it's 75 to 22%. And then you can see the average is much higher at Poinet too. So my site has less claims, has less of the overall benefits paid, and has a lower average than Poinet. It's different work, same company. Oh, I did do it. Here's the trend analysis. Okay, and forecasting. So we do trend analysis forecasting two different ways. One is we take annual averages. We take it with and without outliers removed, and then we use the scatter plot with a trend line that forecasts out a few years, and we estimate what it is. So if it's trending up, it's going to be higher than the average. If it's trending down, it's going to be lower than the average. If there is no change, then it would be the same as the average. And so we use this to try to estimate that if we do nothing, this is what we think it'll be. And it also is dependent on the R-square value, the R-square value being how representative the trend line is per the actual data points. And I'll talk about that more in a future video. So here is a breakdown by class code. Jim talked about this. You can look up class codes, the meanings, and the rates from the WCRB website. That's the Wisconsin, I believe, Compensation Rating Bureau. I should check that. I got a Pareto with the top two. So 25% of the class codes represented 71% of the count and about 80% of the total paid. Pareto, right there. I tried to do it by cause. It looks like I got Pareto or assumed Pareto like around the top four, which was 36%, which is a little bit high, but I was able to achieve a 90% on the total paid. So for the company-wide, these are the primaries. And if you look at the magnitude of the risk priority number, manual material handling is number one by far because of the magnitude of the difference. And then the next tier down is cut, puncture, scrape, and repetitive motion. Another tier down might be slip, trip, and fall, and then it kind of disappears. Yeah, so these are going to be the four things that we're going to use to prioritize, to focus on. A detailed cause is just sort of a sub-cause. These are more like parent codes. These are more child codes, and I'll get into that when we get to this. That'll be in 3 weeks. And as you can see, so I took the top, I believe 9 as the Pareto, 25% versus 60 versus 83. So not bad, but a lot of these are similar. And so what I'd like to do is begin by using these two criterion, variables. Then what we do is we sort by plant, and then we kind of trend based on what the data has told us. And here what I've got an example of is the Madison plant itself. It seems to be trending up, but really the R-square values aren't great. So we'd probably default to the table averages, which with outliers is 60, without is 20. Here's the final breakdown. I don't have the Poinet numbers. I'll be calculating those. I was letting my colleague at Poinet do his own work, and then we'll compare it back. He's found the same issues I ran into and corrected, and so I saved him a lot of time. And here's the breakdown here. And so we will do the annual average and forecasting, and then we'll compare it back to the overall to see what we have. So from a percent from the Madison plant. So all the work we're going to do, we're going to narrow it down to 2 priorities. Those 2 priorities represent anywhere from 45 to up to 60 to 86% of everything. So it's a target-rich environment. With the outliers, we were capturing a lot of the outliers in just those 2 causes, a lot. And if we do forecasting, it's not as good, obviously. Well, when you have less data. I bet we get better results with the pointet, though. I bet. And we can look at it that way. So my overall recommendation is to focus on cut, puncture, scrapes, and manual material handling incidents in Madison, at the Madison plant, because in 2023 we can expect to have 5 work comp claims ranging between 19.5 and 51,000. That's an estimate based on 5 years of data. Will it happen? It may. It may be worse than that if we have a really bad claim. So here are my proposals. Because this is my second week. Let's review this. Let you know where I am now, and then we'll kind of look at the data, and then I'll end this. Daily safety observations, safety touches. I haven't done that yet because I'm waiting on a few things. I want to do 10 per day over 2 shifts. That's interesting. It's a good idea. I haven't been able to get there yet. Also, the documentation, I have to customize it per area. A generalized form that you customize yourself, I think is too subjective. Develop an aggressive plan to complete. Yeah, I really need to now because I haven't been able to complete any because I don't like the old forms. Starting next week, I've been trying and it's not, this has been a slog, as they say. Collaborate with the teams, incident report manager to improve data feeds. I have been doing that, yes. I've made big strides in how we do this. We currently only have one person from my plant still on work comp, or out on work comp, and it was because there was an infection when they had wrist surgery. Hopefully we can get them back in another week, though. I really hope. Update and continue working on safety action plan. Yeah, I need to do it more regularly. Today I spent about 3, maybe 4 hours updating end of January, all of February, and into March, so I could deliver updated records and metrics to the shift supervisors, because next Wednesday, I think we've got our February monthly update. So this was the December update. And so I provided them with those numbers to let them know what's going on. Try to complete 1 item per week. Actually, I've upped that to, I think, 2.5 per week. So it's 10 a month. So I am working on that. And then the return to work. Well, we really haven't had many injuries that would require it, where the doctor puts them on limited duty. But it's something we've been talking about. But because we're a union shop, piece rate, it's very, very complex. Very complex. We'll just leave it at that. So that's the project. You don't have to get to this point, but whenever I do analysis, I have to explain what it means and then what we need to do with it, how we need to pursue and study the work to try to mitigate those causes that led to the previous comp injuries. Yeah, so you got to see it. That's everything. So let's bring up, I'm just going to talk about a few things here, and then I'll come back and do the analyses. Because each week I'll take you step by step through it. Even though I've done it, I'm going to take you step by step through it. So this document here is the assistance document. It's under lecture 14. And I created this years ago to help students kind of give them a wider view from front to back of the project. So the first thing we're going to do is descriptive. So we're going to create a table similar to this, but it typically needs to be customized to the data set. Not every data set from every work comp provider is the same. In fact, they're all different. They all have different databases. And so you have to customize the table to it, but it's just basically the columns. Yeah. And then we'll also do the open and closed. And I believe, but the data set we analyzed is also a reopened, which was interesting. Haven't had that before. There was another set, open, close. Oh, indemnity medical incident. We'll be breaking that down too. So that's something additional. And when I do the work, I'll kind of explain some of my insights, what I'm seeing, and you can borrow from that to begin with. And then as we go through the project, I'll let you come up with your own comments. And then I provided some more information here. So this is a good instruction for the beginning, the first step. The second step is to create the distribution. And I'd shown you that, and it's pretty cool looking. And all you have to do is follow these steps and copy and paste this table, because I've built in equations and stuff like that. Copy and paste it so that it is, move the data header down to 105, row 105, right here, 105. Copy and paste so that the total count, which is right here, is directly above total paid. Then it'll work out fine. Be sure to clear anything down below. I'll remind you of that. And then to complete the percent total, type equal, click on D2, which is right here. Enter N. What? Oh, put the N number in and hit return. Double click to go to the bottom. Okay, that's simple enough. And then we graph it. We graph it by a bar chart. Yeah. So that is that part. So that's what we'll be doing. And then as you can see, we'll do outliers and annual trending. That's week 2. Week 3 is where and cause. We don't have to do a new cause cipher this semester because they provided us with 2 levels of causes. I talked about that, the parent and the child. Usually they only give us the child. Then the week after that, we do forecasting and kind of estimate our stuff. And then the last week, we do our final results and write it up. That is the project, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, this is just gentlemen in this class this semester. So let's take a quick look at the data, and then we'll start analyzing it in the next video. Because I think that's everything. Not exactly everything. I didn't provide you with this yet. So it's 30% of your grade. 20% comes from the Excel progress, 10% the Excel final. So the Excel work you do, and it needs to be on time, is 30% of the project, which is 30% of your semester grade, which means it's 10%. The presentation is 20%. The executive summary technical report is 50%. So 15% of your grade this semester is the paper. Yeah, it's legit, right? Project description: you are a new loss control specialist asked to conduct a comprehensive analysis on a loss run data set. Your objectives are to evaluate the data quality, assess the performance of the safety program, and make prioritize recommendations for where and what the company should focus on, along with forecasted losses. That's exactly what I just did. So I did this. I did this in the real world, and it landed very well. It really did. You'll submit weekly updates. There's 5 total, and then the final Excel. It's over the next 5-6 weeks. Then you'll perform a 5-minute one-on-one presentation with me. 5 minutes. You'll probably be putting in anywhere from 30 to 40 hours on this project. So start carving out the time. And then the professional report. And we'll have one more writing lab, which will kind of go over all the elements. It'll be a lot lengthier, because you have to write the technical report this time. I gave you the technical report for the executive summary. So you write the technical report, then you write the executive summary, and you tack on a cover page. Presentation, 5 minutes. You need to get to business quick. The presentation I just gave you did not have the 5-minute limit. Maybe what I'll do is provide you at some point my version of a 5-minute presentation to help you out. Then all the grading rubrics are here. So that's the assignment. Be working on it a lot. Here's our data. So I've got 2 tabs. The first one is information about the company. This is what I was sent, and there's their NAICS code. Based on sick, point at is different. Okay, let's ignore that for right now. This is something I got from our loss control person. It is the written premium, earned premium. So you see what the annual premiums were for everything, including this year. It's still adding up. And then the final mod. So it is a 1.4. It's a 1.3. It's a 1.3. So I was even a little bit off in my estimation. This is a different report. So it's a 1.3 right now. The loss ratio for this year is 17. But what are we using? We're using 18 through 20. So we got 68, 43, and 40. And you can think of the average of that. So next year, we're going to roll in a 33. I thought it was lower than that, but maybe I'm a little bit off. But that should start bringing things down. And you see how the mods were lower? That's because this came from data that was earlier, much earlier. And then here's a little bit of additional information from my loss control specialist who shared some stuff with me. You can think of getting this stuff from your boss. That might be an easier way to think of it. So we'll be going over this stuff in a different week. Right now, I just want to let you know that I have this stuff for you. I also keep remembering to cover things. I'm going to cover this in class on Thursday. is this document right here, which I think I've already opened. And this is the 18-page explanation of the mod. And it's pretty fascinating. Jim showed us one which the mod was what now? Like 0.98 or something like that. And I think he got it from somewhere in here. So it's a breakdown by state. Each state will be a little bit different, and the company has different holdings. So the one we want to focus on would be the Wisconsin, which of course is on the bottom. Here's Wisconsin. So we've got some open claims still. It's got payroll stuff, expected losses. So it really breaks it all down. So the subject premium is right around this $593 just for Wisconsin. Oh, there's more stuff here. So add on a few additional things. Oh, wait, what's the year here? You got to look at the year. Effective date, nope, 19. Effective date, 18. Nope, those are 2 years past. This is the one. Okay, so the subject premium is $839,000, and then there is additional stuff that brings it up over $900,000 when you look around all the other states. And that's the end of it. So lots of great information, and we will be digging into this later. We're already at 30 minutes. So what I'd like to do is just show you our data. So this is the master tab. Never, ever molest the master. I did updates and manipulated this to make it easier on you. If I gave you the raw data, the first week would probably be scanning through it and improving it. So I took out stuff that was not needed for the most part to make it a little bit easier, and I had to build this one. Originally, there was site location. I think I took that out because they actually were completing it incorrectly. And I found the error and asked about it, and it took like about a week for me to work with the different sites, HR people and work comp coordinators to get the proper plant or location assigned here. Yeah. There is 205. So I think I said 206 because one of them was from a different state. I think it was Ohio. I took it out because it's just confusing, and it was a car accident. So I took it out. As you can see, there are some blank entries. That's going to happen. There's a couple different description tabs, and we'll be reading those. That's really important. But this is, for all intent and purpose, an actual loss run data set, save for removing a few things. So this is where we're going to begin. Again, never, ever, ever analyze or alter the master. I'm allowed to do it because I know what I'm doing, but we're going to copy and paste this to a new tab before we start working on it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add unique numbers, and we're going to create a total page. So I'm going to wrap things up right now. This was just a description of the assignment and give you some background and some overview, but in the next video, it'll be shorter, and I will do the analyses. We'll play a little bit and make the tables look good. I'll even show you how to copy and paste it over to a Word document. And then obviously, you should save it as a PDF before you submit it. So I'll do all that in the next video. It'll be even shorter than this one, I think. So hope you're there on Thursday to hear me talk about this, start asking questions, because I'll do some demonstrations in class as well. All right, good luck, everybody.